Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode from the Hermitcraft server. And in today's episode, we're going to be doing some detail work on our monastery that we built here, which I think is pretty cool. So, last episode we did this. Hey, Red. And in today's episode, I want to work a bit on the detail work, as I said. So the first thing that I'm going to do is make a ton of stone buttons. And we're actually going to put stone buttons on the outside, basically anywhere that there is an acacia plank showing. Oop. Come on, come back, you. So, it's going to be a lot of stone buttons. Let me get to work on this. I'll be back with you in just a second. Alright guys, I am back. So, I had to run back to the dwarven base to get some more buttons, but we've got at least we've got basically the first couple floors taken care of. So now I just need to do the rest of these, and then we'll have all the buttons done. Alright guys, I am back. So we got that taken care of, and I think it'll look pretty good. Let's take a look at it from down here. Yeah, definitely an improvement. Definitely improvement. Look at that, going all the way up to the top. I also did take this level. This was formerly filled in. I did take that out and break this up a little bit. And I think that looks pretty good overall. I may want to put some spruce on the inside there just because I think it would look better. But definitely a good thing. The buttons definitely make it look better. So now we need to do some other things as well, and I need some vines probably. I'm going to need some leaves, and I want to make kind of a pathway that leads up to the monastery as well. Let's see. I'm not really going to do anything with the interior of the monastery because I really don't think it's necessary, to be honest. It's just kind of one of those things where this is really not meant for any purpose other than decorative. It's an aesthetics only build. And I've got a little bit of leaves on me, but not enough to really make a whole lot of difference. So, let's see about fixing that one little issue way up at the top. If I throw that ender pearl just right? Oh, look at that. Perfect throw. That's exactly where I needed to go. All right, fantastic. So, let's put you here. Actually, I should have waited on that, but whatever. It's okay. And then let's just put some spruce slabs in here. And I'm actually going to put a couple on the downside of this block. That way nothing can spawn in there. And then we'll put a couple. Really? I'm out of spruce slabs. I am one spruce slab short. Isn't that just typical? There we go. Okay. That's better. So, I just realized I'm missing a fence post over there as well. That was probably driving some of you absolutely insane if you noticed it. Alright, there we go. So, that's all good. So now I think I need to head back to my base and get my hands on some vegetation and landscaping materials because I don't think I really have much with me. So we've got these leaves. Yeah, definitely going to need some other stuff too. So let me take off and go do that, and I'll be back with you in a sec. Alright guys, I am back. So I've grabbed a bunch of materials. Gravel, jungle wood, grass, all sorts of stuff like that. Actually, let's put all of our landscaping materials up in this chest. I think that would probably be a better idea. There we go, and then we've got a bunch of it in our ender chest as well. And I think the first thing I want to do is I want to lay out kind of a pathway that leads up to the mountain, and we're going to make it primarily out of coarse dirt and jungle wood slabs. That's going to be kind of the main idea here. So let's just get a couple stacks of those. And that should be good, I think. So let's see. Here's this. Let's grab... Do I have any stone left? I should. Yeah, I've got quite a bit. Good. Because I'm going to need to kind of terraform this entranceway a little bit. I don't want to go too crazy with it, but I also want the path to kind of come out of the mountain a little bit more, or sort of like start here and start kind of wrapping its way around. I just think that'll look better. Oop. If we do something like this. There we go. And then right here, we'd have our coarse dirt path that kind of leads down the mountain, shall we say. So, let's see. It'll go like here. Or maybe it wraps this way. I feel like this would be a path that would be very kind of thin and windy. Just my 2 cents. So let's do that, and let's grab some of these guys as well. And you notice we're using jungle wood, and the reason we're doing that is because jungle wood actually blends amazingly well with coarse dirt. Like, they were meant for each other, is what it seems like. So we'll do something like that. Path will kind of come up this way. This right here will be more jungle wood. Yep, that's good. And then here it will kind of turn around and start wrapping back. And we'll go like this. So we'll have this little path that kind of wraps around. Yeah, that's good. And then here, I'll kind of bring some of that stuff over a little bit better, just so it's covered up. And we're going to go back and blend in some grass and some of that kind of stuff as well. Let's just take a little sleep. Actually, you know what? Let me take a little sleep and let me get some work done on the path, and I'll come back to you in a minute. All right, guys, I am back, and I'm just putting the finishing touches on the pathway itself. And I think it works out relatively well. We'll take out these two here and replace those with coarse dirt too. So as you're kind of coming along this path, you'll see here, there's another path, and you can follow this, and it kind of winds up around over here, goes up, it gets real narrow, then it kind of turns and keeps doing that, and it gets really kind of treacherous and eventually takes you all the way up to the monastery. I also replaced these stone stairs with spruce ones. I think it'll look a little bit better from down below, and it will certainly look better as you kind of transition up the hill. So we've got that going. Now, we need to also kind of come through here and add some other blocks and things like that along here. So I think as we go farther down, we want grass, but we want kind of patches of grass rather than large amounts of it. So like here we've got stone, which is okay, but not awesome. So I want to kind of get some of this kind of blended back into stone here, and I do still want grass, but I basically just want less and less grass as you move farther and farther up the hill, right? So it'll kind of wear out, and then by the time you get up towards the top, you'll see very little grass. Like, it'll still be there, there'll be a little bit of it, but not a ton. So maybe we'll do little patches, you know, like so, or something like this. Just little bits kind of along this. It definitely looks better in large quantities because Optifine adds this grass texture to the side, which honestly I like for the most part, but I think in this build right here it looks kind of terrible, to be honest. There we go. That'll turn into dirt. We can maybe add some grass in along here as well. Just so, as you can see, we're kind of fading the grass out. We're not, it's not like a hard transition where suddenly there's just no grass, but rather we're kind of blending it a little bit, I guess. Kind of like a gradient, I guess you could say. And that's sort of what we're doing here. We'll maybe add a little here, maybe a little bit up here, get rid of that one. Enough that you can still see stone, but for the most part down in here we've got grass. Let's keep a stone block there, put some grass in over here. Yeah, that's a little better. I think we need a little bit more kind of in here. Maybe like this. Maybe that becomes grass. Yeah, that's starting to look a bit better. Okay, cool. So, and this still will need to be kind of touched up, and little minor changes will have to be made to it and things like that. But really, I'm just kind of trying to get the idea of it right now, and we can come back and tweak little more specific things later. Here, I think I'm going to put some grass as well. I don't really want this gravel showing as you're coming along the path. So let's just kind of cover that up over here a bit. Maybe something like this. There we go. So we do have some grass kind of blending into the mountainside, which is good. Now, we're also going to want a few other things, some water sources. We'll probably want some, probably some sugar canes and reeds. Going to want some leaves for sure. A lot of that kind of stuff too. So, this is all the sugar cane that I have, and these are all the leaves that I have. That is not going to be nearly enough for our purposes here. Luckily, there happens to be a really big forest, like right here. So, I'm going to go and get myself some leaves, and then I'll come back to you. All right, guys, I am back. So, I've got a pretty decent amount of leaves now, and we're going to kind of use some of these along here as well. Let's just kind of spatter them throughout the mountainside. Basically just trying to get some color in here. Something kind of like this. Should be good. I don't want to go super crazy with them, because I don't think that will look amazing, but just kind of mix them in a little bit, especially kind of behind the stone. Just because I think that creates a very nice color. I also want to get some leaves going up at the top of the monastery, up at the top of the hill, which it is going to be a little weird, I know, because we don't have any like dirt or water or anything like that up here, but I think it will actually look really good. And we're just going to try and kind of randomize this a little bit as best we can, which is easier said than done when I don't have any scaffolding to kind of look at. But that's okay. Let's just kind of get some of that in there. There we go. And then over here, we'll kind of do something similar. Maybe stick one out occasionally. Here. There. Bring that down. And then along here, we're kind of doing the same thing, just creating this illusion that the monastery itself is kind of overgrown and that there's still some natural beauty and stuff like that happening here, which I think is pretty cool. There we go. Maybe something like that. And then we'll kind of bring it up along here as well. And maybe down. There we go. Just kind of along those edges. Yeah. Maybe we do something like that, and then maybe we put one like here, and here, and here. Or whatever. So basically the leaves cover up the stone backdrop, which looks okay. I think there might be a bit too much there, or it might be the lack of other landscaping. Nah, I think there's too much leaves. Too many leaves. Too many, too much? Whatever. Either way. So, let's actually take our shears, and let's kind of deal with this green blob, and get rid of, not all of these, but a portion. I think we'll probably get rid of about half. Because we still want the kind of like vine effect that we were getting, but we just don't want this many leaves. There was just too many. So maybe we do something like that. Here it pokes out a little bit more, which I think is fine. And over here it doesn't matter because you can't even see it anyway. There we go. Let's see. Oh, and this also needs to be dialed back a bit. Let's maybe do it like that. There we go. All right, let's take a look at that, see how that looks. That, I would say, is considerably better. We still get the vine effect. It still makes it look interesting, but it's not just a giant blob of green, which was not really a good look. So I think I am pretty happy with that. So the next thing I want to add is a symbol sort of thing. I don't know how familiar... I'm stuck. Get unstuck. Thank you. So in this I believe it's mostly Japanese culture. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe in Japanese culture, there are what are called torii gates, and you've probably seen them before. They're very kind of symbolic in a lot of ways. They're really, you'll see what I mean in a minute. It's probably easier to just try and do it than attempt to explain it. So we're going to grab a few different things here. I'm going to need some sticks, and I'm going to need some acacia fences. That should be enough, I think. And let's actually take this crafting bench with us as well. So basically what a torii gate is, it is essentially it's like a little gateway that you walk through, and it symbolizes the separation of the unholy into purity. So like you walk through it, and behind you is the impurities of the world and evil and things like that, and then once you walk through, you're basically crossing into holy ground. And once again, if that's wrong, someone please correct me on it, because I'm certainly no expert on pretty much any cultures other than American, which makes me sound horrible, but whatever. So we are going to make one of these, and I think we are going to put it right... We need to find a relatively... How's this? That should do. So let's go ahead and build these up like 4 high. That looks good. And then let's make a few slabs. We'll take our stairs, and I'm just going to use these as like scaffolding blocks. We'll put down some fences here. Can I... Oh, that's my ender pearls. I don't want my ender pearls. There we go. We got one over there. And one right there. And then... Actually, I think it would be better if these were still the full slab, or the full blocks. Like so. And then we'll take our slabs and go up. Now, in real life, there's a lot more of like a curvature to these, but that's really kind of difficult to replicate in Minecraft. So just kind of bear with me. But we can probably do something like that, and that actually looks pretty good, honestly. Like, I'm actually quite happy with that. I think that is about as close as I can get to a Torii gate in Minecraft. So yeah, I think I'm pretty satisfied with that. That'll do. In real life, this top layer has a little bit of a curvature to it. These are usually red, but we don't have anything in the game that's red that comes in slabs and fences. So we're using acacia. Let's also get up there, and we'll put some of those buttons on it as well, much like we did down below, or much like we did on the monastery itself. So let's just grab... I've got some buttons here, but we'll grab an extra stack of stone with us just in case, and let's just ender pearl down. Look at that. And then we'll go like this, I think. And then we'll do the same on this side. Oop. There. And there. So we've got kind of our Torii gate here. And if I had any torches, we could potentially put a torch on it, but I don't think we're going to. So we've got our buttons, we got our pathway, we got vines and stuff in place. There's still certainly more to do here, but I think for the moment I am relatively happy with it. So, and I am out of time for this episode. If you have other suggestions for what we could add to this, please by all means put them in the comment section down below. But right now, I am, as I said, out of time. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. There are links in the video description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time.